Tower Beach Sierra 24 Papa Delta is at Willamette, ready to taxi for a VFR departure. Will be westbound, Roar.
Aircall calling from Willamette, say again?
Roar ground, Beach Sierra 24 Papa Delta at Willamette, ready for taxi for VFR departure, westbound.
Beach Sierra 24 Papa Delta, we're ground, runway 35, taxi via Alpha.
35 via Alpha, 24 Papa Delta.
Sierra 4 Papa Delta, you said you had Foxtrot?
Affirmative, we do.
Thank you.
So,
Skyhawk calling Warrior Tower for the RNAV. Say again your call sign.
We
Skyhawk 497 Whiskey or Tower.
check our instruments when we're turning and stuff to make sure everything's moving the way it should. Check this one to make sure we're showing level. That's our attitude indicator. It moves up and down with our pitch. We have a whiskey compass here. Whiskey means wet. That's our reference instrument to set our heading indicator. So we should be going 17, which lines up with the runway 17 that we're paralleling. Then we're going to take off on runway 35, so I'm going to set this heading bug. So when we take off, that should be lined up. Just little things that you do. If you do it all the time, you'll do it when it counts. So I know this airport well and don't really need to do that. So we're going to taxi up here. I'm going to pull off, and then we're going to do a run up. It's like a quick test of all the engine and engine monitoring instruments.
Okay.
Because we prefer to find any issues on the ground
Runway 35, clear to land.
rather than air. Sometimes you get an audience over here. Got a plane landing right there. Cessna 172 looks like. Flaps will go to 15 degrees. Flaps 15. Trim set for takeoff.
Ground Scout 497 Whiskey Alpha 3 4.
Controls free. Correct.
497 Whiskey, road ground cross Alpha.
Doors are closed and latched.
Cross Alpha to the maintenance hangar, Scout 497 Whiskey.
We can go to tower. We're at Tower Beach Sierra 24 Papa Delta at Alpha 5, ready for a VFR departure.
Beach Sierra 24 Papa Delta or Tower, runway 35, clear for takeoff.
35, clear for takeoff, 24 Papa Delta. You ready? Alright. Window closed. Landing light on. .35 in the window. Got 2,700, 31 inches. Airspeed's alive. Looking for 62 miles an hour.
740 or ground safe collection or tower state request.
Under 740 is a
Alright, gears coming up.
over Mount Angel right now, request transition.
Pitching for 80.
500 horsepower.
Something just hit the windshield.
Skyline 740, transition approved, or altimeter 3014. Are you going to be transitioning?
Alright, gears up.
To the airport?
Flaps coming up.
Transition just to the east side of the airport.
Skyline 740, roger. Report when you're being the tower on the east side.
Flaps are up.
Being the tower on the east side.
Kind of makes me wonder if that wasn't a little bird.
It was pretty small. Didn't do any damage. Alright, we'll power back to 25 inches. Prop back, 2500 RPM. Little bumps are normal, they're just light turbulence. Small airplane feels it more than a big airplane. So right now, I'm just flying toward your house.
Let's see, where's Parrot Mountain? Straight ahead?
Yep. Got 1,700 feet. I think I'm going to go up to probably close to 2,000. See the Willamette River below us?
See that? Those are pretty nice spread. Bunch of horse equestrian pens.
Yeah, there's some nice ones. You can really see them from up here. I'll level up here. More power out. And a little more prop out. Right, a little quieter.
Citation 52 Mike Whiskey, visual 35.
Citation 52 Mike Whiskey, or tower is straight in runway 35, reports 3 miles.
Report 3 miles.
Now, if there was another small plane within half a mile, would it show up on there somewhere?
Possibly. Not a guarantee, because that plane has to be on radar.
So you really have to keep your eyes open.
Yep, definitely. It's our responsibility to maintain visual separation from other aircraft and from terrain and all, like antenna or anything like that. So we also have altitude requirements. We have to be a certain height above the ground below us.
Mm-hmm.
And that changes depending on whether there's people below us or property. Like if you're over open water, it can be lower than if you're over a city. So, Highway 99, you see that?
Oh yeah, there's my property. We're right above it almost.
I'll do another pass a little bit wider.
Report exiting to the north.
Got over here pretty fast.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Citation 2 Mike Whiskey, runway 35, clear to land.
Clear to land 3552 Mike Whiskey.
Where are you at? Where's your house?
Back that way.
Oh, okay.
You can see about 15 little greenhouses in a row right there. Our property's right next to it. You can't actually see my house very easily. It's pretty small.
Trees? Trees in the way?
Yeah, I got a picture of it.
Oh, good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Amazing. Now we got the Newburgh Airport almost down below us.
Yep, Sportsman is right there. You see it?
Yeah.
So it just runs north-south.
And now we're up high enough where we wouldn't have to worry about somebody being...
Yeah, I mean, they could be coming in, but they would need to be descending because the pattern altitude at Sportsman is, at most airports, is 1,000 feet above the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And they're mostly ground level, so their pattern altitude is about 1,000 feet, 1,080. And we're at 2,000 feet above sea level.
Okay.
So a plane coming into land would be 1,000 feet below us.
That's a different view.
Yeah. So you can see crater there with the softball complex.
Mm-hmm.
And the Peter's house is right there.
Has Peter been up here?
No, I invited him before I invited you.
Has Callan been up here?
Yes, Callan was my first passenger after we bought this plane. He was also my first passenger after I got my ticket.
A ticket?
A certificate
Oh.
to be a pilot. Be able to carry passengers legally. So we're right over my house right now.
Nice.
Right here, right down there.
Nice.
So what I think we'll do is go do a quick buzz of the church.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You can see a couple of the... It's amazing how easy it is to see stadiums from up here. You can see...
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know which
Fox.
one's which, but yeah, Fox and Newburgh High School.
Yeah.
So our airspeed right now, indicated airspeed, which means the speed that the wings are feeling, is about 100 knots, 110 miles an hour, and our ground speed, which is adjusted for wind, is 107 knots. So we have a tailwind right now. So even though it was calm on the ground, there's a 8 to 10 knot wind up here.
Now, where can you not go right now?
There are places I can't go without getting permission. I can't go back to Aurora without permission, because they're in a Class Delta airspace. I can't go to Hillsborough without permission. And I can't get too close to the Portland airport without permission.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't any restricted areas close to us, or prohibited areas. And there are no active TFRs right now, which is a temporary flight restriction in this area. So there's really not many places I can't go right now. And all those places I said I have to have permission, all I have to do is call up their tower and tell them, you know, who I am and what I want to do. And if they respond, and all they have to do is mention my tail number, and that is sufficient evidence that I've established contact, and I can now enter their airspace. If they give me any instructions, I have to comply with those.
Now, if right now the engine died, what would you do?
Well, we're pretty low, so we wouldn't have a lot of options. I would look for a field where I felt like I had a decent chance of landing. And I think we have a wind going east, so I'd look for a field right below us and circle back and try to land into the headwind, but...
Because what are we, 30 seconds from being on the ground, or even less?
It would, I don't know, it would feel like 10 seconds. There would not be a lot of time. I wouldn't have time to call anyone or anything. I would just be focused on getting down.
You know what's funny is once you get up here, you realize how many nice, large, beautiful homes there are.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have a pretty nice house, but it looked pretty small compared to the houses in the nearby.
Right. All right, so 99, so Countryside should be...
Current altimeter 3014.
Where are we at?
Yeah, there it is. Right there. There's Countryside.
I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
It is it though.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Let's see if we can get down there a little bit. Got landing areas down there, so we're fine. Not seeing any traffic.
I'm looking around. I don't see any airplanes.
Yep. Pretty calm. Pretty quiet today. I'm surprised. Easter weekend, maybe? Yeah, there's nothing going on at Countryside. Peter said he had to be back by 5. So he's probably there. That might feel like a steep turn. It's actually not. That's what they call a standard rate turn. Turning at that rate, we do a full 360 in 2 minutes. Steep turn is another 15 degrees on top of that. That's a maneuver that we practice. All right, I'm going to go up to 25 square and climb.
Apache 4387 Papa, Roar Tower, left downwind approved, runway 35, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 35, left downwind, 4387 Papa.
Links Field Truck 1, proceed to Links to Alpha.
So, if you want to look on my iPad here, that's Hillsborough Airport. We're headed this way, so it's off that way. See all these targets?
Yeah.
They're all airplanes maneuvering in and around the airport. So we do have one heading on an intercept course about 1,200 feet above us. Then another one headed this way about 400 feet above us. So I'm going to go ahead and turn. I don't really care about being over here.
Links Truck 1, thank you.
I don't have either of those in sight.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Well, he would be behind us now. Well, past where we'd be able to spot him back there.
I sent Peter that picture.
Yeah?
With a smiley face. I've never, as far as I remember, I've never been in a single engine plane before.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. I hadn't either until I started flight training.
That looks like 219. Is it?
Yeah, it should be.
So this is Bald Peak?
Yep. Right on the center of Bald Peak, there's a VOR, which is a VHF omnidirectional radio, and it is one of the busiest VORs in the United States. Because there are so many approaches that all hinge off of that point. So whether you're flying into Portland or Hillsborough or the smaller airports around here, you're likely to be routed over that VOR.
This is probably Bell Road here, huh?
Yeah, I think it would be. This one that curves up on the ridge?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Those your gauges all look normal?
Yeah, everything's good. Oil pressure's good, temperature's good. All these are in, you can see how cold it is. We're, you know, these CHTs are just barely even indicating cylinder head temps. Because we're not working it very hard. So if I'm going somewhere, normally I'll climb and cruise 6,500 to 8,500 feet is kind of my comfortable cruise range for altitudes. If I need to clear terrain mountains, or if the winds are better up high, I can cruise at 10,500. And on a few rare occasions, I'll go up to 12.5 for a little while.
That's got to get a little bit uncomfortable.
Actually,
breathing-wise?
For me, it's not an issue. Hasn't been.
You used to it?
Yeah, I think a little bit, but also, you're not working very hard. You're sitting, you're still, so as long as you're healthy, generally is going to be okay. But if I do know that I'm planning to have to do that, or I might have to do that, I have a little portable oxygen thing that I can get a couple seconds of oxygen burst out of.
That's funny.
And then I also carry, in my flight bag, I have a pulse ox. It just goes on my finger. So I'm just kind of following the river here. You can see the new bypass. See that, where it curves?
Oh, yeah.
That's where it lets out on the other end of Dundee. Now, normally when you're cruising, there are some altitude rules that you're supposed to abide by for what altitudes you cruise at. And when you're VFR, which is what we are, visual flight rules, so not instrument flying, not on an instrument flight plan, you fly at the 500s, so 500 feet. So you go, 3,500, 4,500, 6,500, and then it's even or odd thousands based on whether you're going east or west.
Oh.
So it's odd if you're going east, even if you're going west. That helps ensure separation.
Interesting.
When you're below 3,000 feet above the ground, you don't have to abide by those. There's McMinnville Airport, you see it straight out there?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and actually switch over to their frequency. Actually, that's not right. It is 123.0.
190 at 3, would you like a straight in for 17?
We'd love a straight in for 178 equipment.
There we go. Now we're on McMinnville. McMinnville, it's called the CTAF, Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. McMinnville doesn't have a tower, so it's uncontrolled, meaning the pilots are responsible for maintaining our own separation and coordination. And I'm at 30 minutes, so as we get closer to McMinnville, I'm going to fly right over it, and then I'm going to switch fuel tanks, so I have to control which tank the fuel's coming out of.
Uh-huh.
And if I don't, then we'll get more and more lopsided. As far as the weight.
Traffic sky 65813 on the downwind for runway 22 McMinnville.
McMinnville traffic, flight of 5 RVs, now clear runway 22 McMinnville.
Also, there's a flight of 5 that just took off. Oh no, they just landed.
McMinnville area traffic, Black and Silver Cub is departing runway 17 at the first intersection. And the Cub will be turning eastbound at the end of the runway.
So these are all guys that are flying.
Traffic, 11 Zulu is crosswind, we'll be turning left.
What's that?
We have the traffic that's left downwind, so we'll be left downwind, touch code 22.
These guys that are talking on the radio right now, they're all flying in McMinnville, and they're at the airport. So they're either landing or taking off, and they're coordinating just by communicating what they're doing. So you develop a mental picture about what's going on.
But I don't see any up in the air.
They're hard to spot, I told you. So there's one guy who's just about to land. He's going to be real tiny and coming in on the runway heading our direction.
Oh, I see him.
And McMinnville traffic, 11 Zulu is turning left.
See how small an airplane looks from 2,000 feet away?
Yeah.
McMinnville traffic, Skyhawk 65813, turning base, left base, runway 22 McMinnville.
McMinnville traffic, Beach 4, Papa Delta, passing over the field 2,500. We are northwest bound.
Raven flight, push company.
I don't want to see those 5 RVs that just landed.
McMinnville traffic, Skyhawk 65813, turning final, runway 22 McMinnville.
So across from the highway from McMinnville Airport is the Evergreen Air and Space
I see it.
Museum. You can see the 747 in the grass.
Yep.
Then the other one up on top of the building. Those are actually visual references I use when I'm trying to find this airport. I'll look for those jets.
And they don't care that you fly above here?
McMinnville traffic,
Nope.
1 Zulu is turning left base for touch code 22 of McMinnville.
I'm plenty high, so I'm well out of their way. And actually, when you fly through busy airspace, like let's say you wanted to fly through Portland's airspace, they will generally, not always, but generally, if you're on your VFR and you're on flight following, meaning you're talking to the controller, which you have to be to go into their airspace, they will deliberately route you right over the top of the tower.
Zulu is turning final, touch go 22 of McMinnville.
And the reason they do that, oh, there's a plane taking off. Great, I don't know if you can see it behind me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw him waiting.
Oh, yeah. So he's climbing. I don't think he's gonna, there's no way he'd get up to our altitude. Time to be a problem.
McMinnville traffic, 65813 is on the upwind. We're staying in the pattern for 22, touch and go McMinnville.
took that headset off, I wanted to see how loud it was. It is pretty loud.
Yeah, it's pretty loud, isn't it?
It's not like it would damage your hearing, but
It would if you did it enough. Yeah, it used to be a big problem for the old-time pilots.
they go half deaf.
Yep, or all deaf. So fortunately, we don't have to worry about that anymore because we have these nice noise-canceling headphones.
Pretty cool.
Victor is taxiing to runway 22.
They work pretty well.
Ew.
For departure to southwest.
And that one's just passive. If you can hear mine, I can hear the engine, which you want to be able to, but it's so drowned out that it makes all the talking louder. That makes sense. Because it's actively canceling the noise.
That's cool. I can tell that this thing only picks up certain frequencies. At least it seems like it.
It's picking up what I dial in.
No, I'm talking about my voice.
Oh.
Because when I do this,
Right.
I don't hear that coming back through my headset.
Right.
But I can when I'm talking.
Right. So there's a squelch. I can control the squelch here for your headset. If I turn that all the way to the left, it would just be always on. But otherwise, it's squelching based on essentially the volume of the noise you make, but it's affected somewhat by the frequency also.
Okay.
So I always have to, first time passengers, I always have to remind them, keep that close to your lips, you know, because otherwise we have to turn the squelch way down and then I pick up the engine noise.
I see. Now I'm trying to remember what's straight south from McMinnville.
Well, right below us is Amity.
Amity?
Yeah. It's not a big town, so it's easy to miss. I think it's just that there's a business in Amity.
No, you're just not seeing it yet. There's a bunch right here.
Okay.
It looks like there's about 150 homes.
Yeah. So that's Amity, and then south of Amity is Independence.
And that's, now how close is that to Monmouth, or Monmouth is down this way too, right?
Yeah, Independence and Monmouth are basically in the same, they're connected.
Now if all of a sudden a plane was coming straight this way, it wouldn't take too long before, if we were looking around and we didn't see. So what would be a knee-jerk thing? If you see a plane, do you go up and to the right, or do you have a certain thing that if you both went to the right, you'd...
That's right.
What is it that you do?
You go to the right.
Okay.
So if you're on a collision course, you maneuver to the right. So Independence has another airport. Independence has an air park, meaning that people live on the field. They have houses. So that's pretty cool because there aren't any other air parks in Oregon that I know of. That one's real close to us. And then Salem is another Class Delta airport, so they have all this blue, their airspace. That's another one where if I want to go in there, I have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Not a big deal, but you have to know it. So being aware of where you are all the time is really important. This plane has an autopilot. Not fancy, but it does function. So I could put in, oh, 7 Sierra 5. At an Independence State Airport, right? Hit enter, then enter again. And now I'm playing a direct course on the magenta line to the airport directly over it. And it said to set my track to 166. So then I turn this dial here. 166. And then I can go nav mode on this dial, autopilot on, and engage it. And it will attempt a little bit of turbulence.
Turning left base, runway 22, McMinnville.
We're actually flying right. I can see the airport runway. We're right on the final.
Oh yeah, I see it.
So we could descend and land just like that. But if you put your hands on the yoke right now and just kind of feel it fight you, that's the autopilot. So it's moving the servos.
Oh yeah.
To adjust our course, and you can override it.
Huh.
Then it will recorrect.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now
Is that something that probably got added to this plane, or you think it had it?
No, this would have been original. And this is a really old analog autopilot. They don't generally sell these anymore. All the new ones are digital. But it's functional.
So back in mid-70s, a nice Oldsmobile or something would be $5,000 or $6,000. How much would this plane have been?
You know, with the autopilot, I'm gonna guess. It's a pretty wild guess, and I could be way off. I'm gonna say probably 13,000. Today, with all the avionics that we have and the low engine time, it's worth 65 to 70. Because one of the interesting things about aviation is that as expensive as it is to own an airplane and fly it and all that, the airplanes themselves generally retain their value or even increase in value over time.
Interesting.
And the fleet, because of that, continues to get older and older. New airplanes, if I was to buy a brand new airplane that's kind of a you know, similar capability type of airplane, it would be faster. You're looking at probably a minimum of 600,000.
Oh.
All the way up to like
a four-seater?
Yeah. All the way up to like $1 million, just shy of $1 million.
Huh.
Yeah.
What are they made out of, the body?
The new fancy ones are made out of composite materials. Sort of like the 787 Dreamliner. The fiberglass construction.
Yeah, there's a guy getting ready to take off on the strip.
Turn the autopilot off and do this. So we can kind of watch him.
Oh, it's a glider, I think.
They do have glider operations.
Because it looks like they're...
Oh yeah, he's towing him. That's a tow plane.
He hasn't taken off yet. He's probably waiting to make sure we're not going to come over there.
Possibly.
It'll take him too long to get up. We won't be able to hang around and watch that, but I'm sure you've done that before.
Well, actually, I was going to turn around and head back, but I want to stay out of the way of that glider for sure. So I'm going to switch over to their frequency.
Plan to overfly the field to join the 45 left downwind runway 22. Remember.
Independence traffic, tow plane and glider departing runway 34 to the northeast. Power traffic, please use left traffic 34, and the glider will be using right traffic 34, Independence.
So he was just giving an instruction saying that if you're going to land in a powered airplane, use left traffic, so a left pattern, because the glider is going to use a right pattern.
Was he talking to you?
He's talking to anyone in the area. So that includes me, but I'm not actually planning to land there. So I don't really need to pay attention.
I guess being up 2,000 feet, they probably knew that.
Yeah. No, but I am going to call him and ask him what altitude they're headed for. Tow plane Independence, what altitude are you planning?
Tow plane's currently climbing operating with the glider up to estimated 3,000 or so, and we'll be on the east side of the field, Independence.
All right, we just passed over southbound. We're going to turn back, but we'll stay to the west side of the field, Independence.
Roger, thank you much.
Have him?
He must be up. I don't see him.
Yeah, he's off the runway. Should be easier to spot. Yeah, I got him right here. Straight off the...
Oh, yeah.
Over 99 for 45, left downwind, runway 34, Independence.
He's actually got up pretty fast. That's a pretty powerful plane.
There's another one here. Oh, that's interesting. He's not very high above us. Going to be descending to land. So I'm going to turn in tighter. Independence traffic, Beach 4, Papa Delta is west of the field at 2,500 headed northbound, Independence. So she's passing over this way, and she's going to turn back and fly over the airport. Looks like. See the glider out there?
Yeah. Yeah, he's booking.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful airplane.
Yeah, it's a lot of motor. Their whole job. That's basically all that plane does. Lift those gliders up. Now, gliders aren't very heavy. There's only one person in it.
So that whole setup is probably, what, 600 pounds?
That seems about right, but I don't actually know.
I guess the wheels are probably the heaviest part.
Well, the airframe. It's gonna have some weight to it. Depends on what it's constructed out of. Oh, he's released, see?
I think I do see that.
Traffic 362 Delta Victor, I'm over 99, headed for runway 32, 45 entry.
That's 3,000 feet already? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, we're at 2,500. He's above us.
Independence traffic, this is Tabria 3889er, on left downwind for runway 34, Independence.
Yeah, so she's headed in to land. That's fun to watch planes land. I've never actually seen a tow plane take off like that from the air. That's pretty fun.
I think he's still on him.
Oh, really?
I think so.
They had the altitude.
Independence 362 Delta Victor, turning left downwind for 34, Independence. Follow the Tabria.
So I have to turn, otherwise I'll get into Salem's airspace.
Yeah, they're coming this way anyway.
Well, probably.
He's above us now.
Yep. I doubt they'll get this far out.
Yeah, now we let go of it.
Traffic, glider release 3,000.
Oh, yeah.
Mile and a half to the east of the field. Glider will be using right traffic 34. Tow plane will descend down for left traffic 34, Independence.
Alright, I do have some traffic. One. Pretty good, pretty well above us. Not worried about him. But I'm going to stay down. The weather.
UAS activities 3.8 miles northwest of the airport at or below 400 feet AGL. Hazardous weather information for Oregon available on HIWAS or flight service frequencies. Advise on initial contact, you at Gulf. Aurora State Tower information, Gulf 2353 observation. Wind variable at 3, visibility 10. few clouds at 3,000. Temperature 17, dew point 6. Altimeter 3014. Expect visual approach runway 35 in use. Use caution for birds.
3014. And we are 14 miles out.
So is this Canby?
No, that'd be Woodburn.
Wings will check 1, roger.
Well, Jervis is in front of. Oh, did we think that was the Woodburn Company stores? It couldn't have been.
I guess I don't know what it was.
There's a plane showing right above us, and I never saw it. He just passed. According to this, just passed over us.
I never saw him either. He must have been way up there.
Yeah, up about 1,500 feet above us, according to ADSB.
It's funny how the eyes work, though. It's not that easy to focus on something when you're looking in the middle of the sky.
Right.
You could be watching a balloon, you look away, you look back, you can never find the thing again.
That's right. It happens a lot when you're flying. You'll spot traffic, and then you have to look away for something. All of a sudden, it's like he was never there. But you have to find him again if you're landing and you know he's in front of you. Aurora Tower, Beach Sierra 24 Papa Delta is over Jervis, 2000 with Golf and on the land.
Beach Sierra 24 Papa Delta, Aurora Tower. Left traffic, runway 35, report midfield.
Left traffic for 35, report midfield. Two 4 Papa Delta. How do you want me to enter left traffic for 35?
Sierra 4 Papa Delta, you said you were northwest of the airport?
Negative. We're at Jervis.
I'm sorry, where?
Jervis, 12 miles south, 10 miles south.
Sierra 4 Papa Delta, sorry, I thought you said Sherwood. You can make a straight in runway 35, report 2 miles.
Straight in 35, report 2 miles, 24 Papa Delta, thanks.
I have no idea where you just said you were, sorry. What's that town called?
Jervis?
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's just south of Woodburn. It's small.
Okay.
Aurora Tower, Apache 967 Romeo is 7 miles due south of the airport at 2,900. I'm just transitioning to the west, just letting you know I'm here at 967 Romeo.
Romeo or Tower, thank you. Transition approved, altimeter 3013.
So he's not very high above us. I'm gonna get down. I don't see him. He's over here somewhere. And I'm gonna go and put our gear down.
4 Papa Delta, say altitude.
24 Papa Delta, we're at 2,200. I'm looking for that helicopter.
Actually, I'm a fixed wing. I'm a twin fixed wing.
Oh, looking for the twin 24 Papa Delta.
Sierra 4 Papa Delta, they reported 7 miles south of the airport. Are you south or southwest?
I'm just a little southwest. I think, oh, he just passed over me. We're no factor.
Roger, thanks.
You see him?
Yeah, I got him. That was close. 500 feet. That's what I'm saying. This happens. It's amazing how you can be in such a huge space and then you pass by each other 500 feet away and maybe never see them. Alright, I need to start focusing on landing now. So landing lights on, pulse lights off. Go ahead and put the gear down. Gears in transition. Got 3 green, in the mirror, gears down. Altimeter set. Pull some power out. Go prop full. So gas is on the right tank, gears down, mixture is full, props full, seats and seat belts are secured. Landing is all about sight picture. You want to maintain your aiming point in the same spot on the windshield all the way down. And you can use your pitch to control your airspeed, so I'm pretty fast right now. I'm actually going to slow us down.
Sierra 4 Papa Delta, runway 35, clear to land.
35 clear to land, 4 Papa Delta. I'm looking for 86 miles an hour on final. I got 105 right now. Flaps down. There's 86. Flaps are down. See, white over white means that we're high. According to the glide slope.
Sierra 4 Papa Delta, long landing approved.
4 Papa Delta, long landing approved. Little left to center there. Not what I planned.
Pretty cool. Got your own bald eagle out here, huh?
We?
Sierra 4 Papa Delta, taxi to parking via Alpha and monitor ground. Have a good night.
Parking via Alpha, monitor ground, and thanks for your help, 24 Papa Delta.